Well, here we are again. I guess technically this will be my second video uploaded on Saturday. Yeah, I shot the first one late Friday, but obviously I uploaded it Saturday. Anyway, hopefully my voice holds out a little bit better, but if it gets choppy again, you'll know what happened. Anyway, yeah, WWE Bash in Berlin just wrapped up, give or take about 10 minutes ago. I went a little past 3 o'clock this time. Yeah, again, no kickoff show matches. There was a 2-hour kickoff show, which I didn't watch because they don't put kickoff matches on there, so there's really no reason for me to watch it. Anyway, we opened up with the Universal Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Apparently, just recently on the SmackDown show, just before this one, Owens pointed out that Cody seems to have injured his knee. It's also a unique factoid that Kevin Owens has not held a singles championship since 2017, which, wow, that's kind of that was kind of amazing. It's something I had never really thought of. Right off the bat, Owens broke up a Cody Cutter attempt by catching Cody. Owens dodged a disaster kick and hit his running senton. Owens hit a cannonball off the apron. Rhodes came back, hit a disaster kick, and followed that up with a torpe. Rhodes put Owens in kind of an arm scissor submission hold. Owens kind of fought out of it. Cody eventually put on the figure 4. Owens hit a frog splash off the apron. Rhodes hit a power slam followed by a disaster kick. He went for his top rope Cody Cutter, but he tweaked his knee doing the springboard. Owens wanted to strike and take pounce on it, but he couldn't. He's developed a sense of honor, and he does give it a little bit and kick Cody in it. He goes for his apron power bomb, but he holds off. He just can't seem to do it. Owens did come back, hit a fisherman buster off the second rope. He had another top rope maneuver, but eventually Cody hit a couple of crossroads. Owens came back, hit a stunner, but then Owens went up for a swanton. Cody got the knees up and hit a third crossroads for the 3 count of the victory. Afterwards, there was sportsmanship, but you could see there's a part of Kevin Owens that was regretting how all this played out and wondering if maybe he should have fallen back into his more devious tendencies like he used to. But yeah, overall, very fun match, very good opener, good storytelling. I guess everyone had been waiting for Randy Orton to turn on Cody, but it looks maybe more like Kevin's going to. Though, admittedly, because Solo Sikoa seems to be the next opponent in line again, I don't know when exactly that's going to happen or if it's going to happen. Maybe it can't be held off till Survivor Series because I believe Cody is probably going to be in the men's War Game match, but you never know there. Okay, our next match is the Women's Tag Team Championship match, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Right off the bat, there was some good gamesmanship by Fire and Dawn as they sort of teased which one of them was going to actually be starting the match. Belair eventually came in and hit Alba Fire with a nice gut wrench into a gut buster. Belair did a delayed suplex where she did kind of the trombone marching band maneuver while she was delaying it. But eventually Isla Dawn interfered, pulled Bianca Belair's ponytail that allowed Fire to throw Belair into the ring post. Dawn hit a running knee through the ropes. Fire and Dawn again used Bianca's hair to pull her into the turnbuckle. Alba Fire used Jade Cargill to hit a tornado DDT. Big fight broke out. Cargill did get the hot tag, hit Dunn with a spinebuster and a jackhammer. At one point, Alba Fire blind tagged in and hit Belair with a gory bomb. Again, another point, Dawn had actually blind tagged in, and because of that, Jade Cargill did not know that Isla Dawn was the illegal person. It seemed like maybe this could lead to a roll-up, but again, they fought out of it, and at another point, it looked like they were setting up a finisher on Bianca Belair, but Jade Cargill interfered just enough for Belair to roll out of the way. Alba Fire crashed into Isla Dawn, and then Belair and Cargill hit a kind of a drop kick into a wheelbarrow German suplex for the 3 count and the victory. So Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are once again women's tag team champions. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn got a decent 2-month reign out of it. I do kind of, again, we're showing the problem with the women's tag division here, in that I just don't think there's enough teams to be going around. Because everyone gets these reigns, and it's like, okay, we're finally putting something behind them, and then they lose. And it's like, maybe we need a good 3 to 4 month reign. Maybe we need lots of matches to help build those championships. And so when you just keep ping-ponging the belts around, it doesn't quite seem to have the same effect. And that's why it always seems lacking. The match itself was fine. I actually thought it was pretty fun. It's just, again, I'm like, are we going to finally follow through and maybe do something with these other than just have matches for the champs to either win or lose? Well, you mean most likely lose in this scenario, but I think you get what I mean there. Like, are we going to, have storylines? Are we going to have other teams? Are we going to have teams with actual names? Just anything that, isn't just damage control again, or, I think you get the idea. Alright, our next match was the strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I don't like the WWE strap matches. I'm sorry. They're just, if it's just a match where the competitors are connected by the leather strap and they attack each other with it, that's fine. I don't like the fact that you have to do the drag your opponent to 4 corners and touch the turnbuckles. And it's just it just slows everything down and completely neuters the product. McIntyre attacked CM Punk during the entrance. He knocked him off the ring apron. He attacked him with the strap before it got tied on. He had a strap assisted Russian leg sweep. Punk did come back at a GTS. Started to go for the turnbuckle, elected instead to attack Drew. Drew attacked back. He had a Claymore kick. Again, we do the classic scenario where they finish these things where Drew touches the turnbuckle, Punk touches the where they go around, and then it's supposed to create a race, but they at least cut that a little bit short. Eventually, they fought to the outside of the ring again. There was something on the announce table, I kind of missed it. But then McIntyre hit another Claymore, Punk hit a GTS, and then hit 2 more GTSs and went to the turnbuckles to touch them and win. Again, you're kind of seeing the point there. Like, they build it up especially with the strap match, they build it up as this is going to be this all-out, devastating brawl. But then you got guys going like, dude, and it's just like it completely crushes any momentum in the story whatsoever. It makes it all grind to a halt. Again, it's why like I said, just have the match be a straight up match where they're connected by the leather strap, which they use as a weapon. It's bone simple. It's like every other wrestling promotion has done it that way, and it works so much better because that way you can tell the story. Okay, so in between this, they did the spiel where they announced they didn't announce the attendance. What they did was they had the German announcer come out and basically announced that this was the highest grossing arena event in WWE history. In kind of the same way it was when they did Backlash in France. Yeah, it's because they probably sold the cheap seats for like $200 a ticket. Or 200 euros a ticket. So yeah. Anyway, the next match after this was Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan versus the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. So in other words, Judgment Day explodes. And it is kind of a mixed thing, because I understand that, technically Dom and Liv should be in this tag match, but at the same time, it's like, Damian's problem isn't with Dom, it's with Finn Balor. So yeah, it's always just that weird aspect of it. I mean, I know they're probably building towards Priest and Balor at Bad Blood, but yeah, again, it's always that weird aspect of, okay, anyway, I think you know what I mean there, but yeah, right off the bat, Priest threw Dominic into the turnbuckle, landing several forearm shots. Mysterio tagged Morgan in, and Priest, yeah, because in the intergender tag matches, when you tag, you know, the female partner comes in. Priest did not leave the ring, which enabled Rhea Ripley to get a sneaky dropkick on Liv. She mocked Dom by teasing to do the Three Amigos. Rhea Ripley did. Morgan eventually tagged Dom as she rolled out of the ring. Morgan tripped Priest on the ring apron. That allowed Dom to knock him off and send him into the ring steps. Dominic hit a tornado DDT after that. Priest came back, hit a Falcon Arrow, tagged in Ripley. Ripley hit Morgan with a German suplex and then a running knee. She hit a running knee to Dom's face, actually. She hit him with a clothesline and a power slam. At one point, Morgan did kind of a counter to the Riptide, where she sort of set up the pump handle and then did kind of a sunset flip maneuver into a pinning predicament. Eventually, Priest tagged in. We got a stereo Razor's Edge, but then Judgment Day interfered, and that allowed Morgan to hit a Code Red powerbomb off the ring apron. Dom hit a 619 and a frog splash, but then, as was after, Balor had interfered to hit a sling blade, but only got a 2 count. Balor told Dom to tag Liv in so that they could pin Rhea. Morgan went for Oblivion. Priest interfered again, took out the rest of Judgment Day. And that distracted Liv just enough for Rhea to get the Riptide and the victory. Overall, fun match. Good high points in this. Like I said, it's just, I understand that Dominic makes some sense in terms of the storyline, but there's also the aspect of, but Priest should be going after Balor, he shouldn't be going after Dominic. So it's always that aspect, and of course, you know, the weird reasoning that they kicked Damian Priest out and Rhea Ripley to an extent was they were the leaders of Judgment Day, and the whole point of Judgment Day was that they weren't supposed to have leaders, but then Balor is ordering everyone around like he's the leader. Yeah, that again, maybe it would just be better if like Judgment Day broke up, or yeah, like just and you know a new differently named faction comes out. Maybe that just would have worked a little bit better. I'm not sure, but anyway, like I said, overall fun, decent match. I'm guessing this sets up again Ripley Morgan probably in Hell in a Cell. I don't know how. Yeah, it's one of those. They're not naming the show Hell in a Cell, but obviously with it being Bad Blood and the lineage that that name has, there's probably going to be at least one Hell in a Cell match. I would venture probably 3. You know, it would just be the Hell in a Cell show, just not called Hell in a Cell. Make of that what you will. And that leads us into our main event, the World Heavyweight Championship match, Walter versus Randy Orton. We are obviously calling back to the King of the Ring finals and the phantom pin that Walter won with. As this happens, during the intros, Samantha Irvin is on there. She starts to introduce Walter, but then Ludwig Kaiser sticks his hand in so that he can do it in German. The crowd is mixed, but they were very loud and did drown out the announcers on several occasions. This was a very slow build match. I mean, again, they played to the crowd a lot. Orton even joined in doing the wave at one point. Very early on, Walter put Orton in a Cobra Clutch. He did the little neck snap with the legs that he does. Orton eventually threw Walter into the ring steps and then back suplexed him on the announce table. This injured Walter's right shoulder, so he couldn't do a lot. He would hit the lariat, but he couldn't get the full rotation on it, and you know it had no power behind it. Orton hit a snap power slam. Walter did use the ropes for a neck breaker. Orton hit a suplex, but then wound up hit a superplex and wound up tweaking his surgically repaired neck in the process. Walter started to come back. He landed some kicks. He landed a couple strikes, but then Orton hit the thumb to the eye. Walter countered an RKO into a German suplex. Walter hit his drop kick and top rope splash combo. He tried to go for the powerbomb. He could not get Orton up for it for a few times. Orton hit the RKO out of nowhere and got a 2 count. Eventually, Walter did hit a powerbomb, but then Orton fought back again. They got to the outside of the ring. He set the ring steps up in front of the announce table and hit Walter with a back suplex into the announce table. They got back into the ring. Orton went for an RKO, but Walter blocked it and locked on a sleeper. He chopped Orton on the back of the neck. He hit him with the elbow several times. Orton fought out of it, but Walter immediately snapped the sleeper back on. Eventually, Orton just passed out. Walter won, and he and Orton shook hands, sportsmanship, at the end of the match. Again, this was about as babyface again, maybe even more than Owens and Rhodes. Yes, the crowd obviously, even though Walter is Austrian, he built his career in Germany, so they're loyal to him. But, Orton is also sort of the babyface in the storyline, so that made a little bit more sense. But yeah, they did a good job telling, again, a good fun job telling the story. Decent match. It's a different style of match. It was definitely slower, a slower build, which I do think in the long run did help it. There were some dead points, but at the same time, it's like you knew things were going to start happening soon, and when they did, it did feel that much better. And I think the only problem is, again, the crowd was a little too drawn out. I couldn't hear the announcers parts of the time, and I think that wound up affecting things just a little bit. So yeah, overall the show was good. Like I said, it's nothing. In this case, I am into the CM Punk Drew McIntyre storyline, but I don't like that strap match, the way WWE does strap matches, and that's kind of where it falls apart. If it had just been a straightforward strap match, I think it would have worked so much better. I would have been a lot more into it. Instead, I almost nodded off a couple of times during it. And that's just because of the way they have to keep plodding around the ring to touch the turnbuckles. And even then, the indicator lights for when the turnbuckles were touched were not functioning properly and were going on and off all the time. So yeah, unfortunately, that is the one thing that just kind of ground the show to a halt for me. It was just it was so clunky, it just kind of made everything else not so fun. And yeah, like I said, it definitely lowered it. I am going to be giving Bash in Berlin, I don't know if they're going to do this again next year, so just for now, WWE Bash in Berlin, a B. Like I said, that strap match really just kind of killed it. But other than that, like I said, it was a very good show, very solid. Again, I do think they're doing a good job building these storylines. I do wonder, though, where we're going with things. Like I said, obviously we're getting Cody and Solo, probably at Bad Blood again, where there's probably going to be multiple Hell in a Cell matches. But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, like I said, overall it was fun. And, alright, next wrestling show, there's no wrestling shows, there's one. There's one wrestling show in September, and that's TNA Victory Road. So that's the next wrestling one. The next video is going to be the random trade review on Marvel Masterworks Deathlock. And then it's 2 weeks of football predictions. And like I said, Victory Road is on September 13th. Bad Blood is on October 5th. And then, I'm going to try to do Wrestle Dream, and that's going to be my AEW show this year. Yeah, and I wish I could do more AEW shows, but just haven't been able to. Hopefully things have lined up this time. So yeah, that should take care of everything. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember you can help me maintain and possibly even expand my professional wrestling coverage by supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTime for Camp Productions.
Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.